November 18, 1978. Deep inside the jungles of Guyana, South America, a nightmare was unfolding. Far away from civilization, hidden beneath endless rainforest, stood a settlement called Jonestown. To the outside world, it looked like a peaceful farming community where families lived together in harmony. But behind the smiling faces and religious speeches, something terrifying was happening. More than 900 people were trapped inside a dangerous cult led by one man. His name was Jim Jones, and within just a few hours, Jonestown would become the site of one of the most horrifying mass deaths in modern history. Years earlier, Jim Jones appeared to be a hero. He preached equality. He spoke against racism during a time when America was deeply divided. He helped poor families, fed hungry people, and created a church known as the People's Temple. To many followers, Jim Jones seemed compassionate and revolutionary, but slowly his behavior began to change. He demanded absolute loyalty. He claimed he could heal diseases. He told people the outside world was evil and that only he could protect them. As criticism and investigations against Jim Jones increased in America, he decided to disappear. He moved hundreds of followers into the jungles of Guyana, creating a remote settlement called Jonestown. Jones described it as a socialist paradise, a place free from racism, violence, and corruption. Families sold everything they owned to join him. At first, life seemed peaceful, but slowly, the dream began to collapse. Jonestown became completely isolated from the outside world. Armed guards surrounded the camp. There was no easy escape. Inside Jonestown, life became terrifying. People worked up to 16 hours a day under the brutal jungle heat. Food became limited, punishments became severe. Loudspeakers blasted Jim Jones' voice day and night. Back in the United States, worried family members demanded answers. Rumors of abuse, violence, and imprisonment inside Jonestown were spreading rapidly. So in November 1978, US Congressman Leo Ryan traveled to Guyana with journalists and investigators. At first, Jim Jones welcomed them warmly. The settlement appeared peaceful. People smiled for cameras, music played, children performed songs. But late that night, several followers secretly approached Leo Ryan and whispered terrifying words, "Please help us escape." The next day, Leo Ryan prepared to leave Jonestown with several defectors. But Jim Jones could not allow people to escape. As the group reached a nearby jungle airstrip, armed gunmen suddenly appeared. Without warning, they opened fire. Panic exploded everywhere. People screamed and ran for cover. Bullets tore through the small airfield. Within moments, Congressman Leo Ryan was dead. Several journalists and defectors were killed beside him. That evening, Jim Jones gathered the entire community together. His voice echoed through loudspeakers across the camp. He claimed enemy soldiers were coming. He told followers there was no future left. Then he gave the final order. Large containers filled with poisoned fruit drink were prepared. The poison contained cyanide and sedatives. Children were forced to drink first. Parents watched helplessly as babies and young children collapsed in front of them. An audio tape recorded the final moments of Jonestown. Even today, investigators consider it one of the most disturbing recordings ever captured. The tape contains crying children, screaming adults, and Jim Jones calmly encouraging death. The next morning, soldiers entered Jonestown. What they discovered shocked the entire world. Bodies covered the ground in every direction. Men, women, children, more than 900 people had died. Even decades later, the mystery of Jonestown still haunts the world. Was it truly mass suicide, or was it mass murder hidden beneath fear and psychological control? The Jonestown Massacre remains a terrifying reminder of how dangerous blind faith can become, because sometimes the most dangerous prisons are not built with walls. They are built inside the human mind.